Alright, hello, I'm EOD, and we're gonna try out some Myst, cause, why? Saw this article, from the New York Times, talking about childhood media. I mean, I guess that applies. I was probably 11 or 12 when this game came out. And, you know, there's been a lot of, intrigue associated with the game that encourages people to explore their imaginations and see the world from a different perspective, I guess. I was almost convinced when I was a kid that these books were real because the lore is so convincing and thorough. But at the same time, you get frustrated with some of these some of these puzzles that just completely screw you up. So that's the trade-off, right? You got like a great intrigue based upon this mystical world, and then you got the frustration of not being able to proceed because a particular puzzle is just a little bit more complicated than you think it is. Most of the time. Most of these puzzles are not that really complicated once you actually figure them out, but figuring them out is sometimes a great challenge. So I've got Mr. Prima over here is going to help me. So hopefully we don't get stuck. Let's begin. It was always super dramatic to me. Oh no, dude. No! I did a little test like right before I started this. And this is where I left off. Son of a bitch. How did I get rid of stuff? I want to go back to the beginning. To the beginning! Dude, this game is already getting on my nerves right now. Yes. Do it again. This time, I'm gonna mute the mic manually because I pushed Alt M and it like skipped exactly what I wanted to see. So, mute the mic.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
There. Now why was that so damn hard? I don't know. But, rough start. We're just gonna keep on trucking. Don't mind the cursor. It's off because of scaling. This is not my native resolution. Okay. So, I guess if you're not familiar with Myst, you might not realize that it was a adventure game. Point and click. Move from one node to the next. A lot like VR games are handled these days. But realMYST introduces free roam version where you can actually walk around, you can look around. And that's kind of the whole point of realMYST, in my opinion. So that's how we're gonna do it. So this game came out after Myst 3, Myst 4, I think. It doesn't have quite as advanced a graphics engine as those games did. But it does let you do this, which is super cool. This is, you know, when I first saw it, I immediately thought this is exactly what they had intended to accomplish when they first built the game. And the technology just was not there. It really wasn't. There was no such thing as 3D back then. And they were rendering the stuff on supercomputers and then taking pictures of it and letting you walk through using the pictures, essentially. And it's just so nice to actually be able to do this. It really is. For a Myst fan, this is Valhalla. Alright, there's a piece of paper over here we gotta go pick up. It's where is it? There it is. What does this say? Catherine, I've left you a message of utmost importance in our forechamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Okay. What do they call them? Marker switches. What are those? Maybe these things. Up. Yes. Okay. That's not the first one. This is the first one. So a good rule of thumb, if it's your first time playing a Myst game, flip all the switches. Just flip them all. Just turn them all on. That's a good way to go. Where are we at now? We got 3? I got 3 of them. Pretty sure. Okay. What the fuck? God, the bricks, man. Look at the bricks. That's so good. Audio in this game is just excellent too. Should probably be playing with headphones. I'm not. That's what I'm talking about. Whoa. Yeah, I remember this. These are generators that come up with some specific voltage. Yeah. I'll do that. We'll figure that out in a minute. Marker switches. Marker switches. I can't get to that one. I can't get to that one. Damn it. We'll go in there eventually. I promise. And we'll go in there too. I guess it would be better if I hadn't never played this stuff. I have... How many switches are there? I got 1, 2, 3 for this guy. The planetarium. And then 4 over there. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 foot we're going with. Let's try that. Alright. Why are they called marker switches? I haven't quite figured that out yet. We'll get there. I remember in the original game, that door animation was just like there and then not. And I remember thinking this room was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen when I first saw it. Okay. Doesn't do anything bad. That's all. But here... What can we do here? Topographic extrusion test. Marker switch diagram. There's a diagram. And then the turbulent pool. Which is apparently what we're looking at. Right. 40 and 47. Let's try this one. Oh, that's what it meant. Yes, I know. I realized that. Thank you. There it is. So this is a topographical extrusion of the Myst Island. Man, it's spinning kind of fast, isn't it? Slow down. There you go. Oh. Yeah, that's cool shit. Just being able to do this would have been a major pain in the ass in the original game. What'd we say? 8? Try 8. That sounded confirmatory.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Agamemnon, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
Well, she didn't erase it, did she? She hasn't been here. I think she might be indisposed. Cirrus Aknar. It's one of our suns. Remember the tower rotation. Let's see if we can figure that out. I'm gonna pretend like I haven't figured this out before. Alright. Tower rotation. Now you recall the switches I flipped. That's why we see these things. The gears, the boat, tree, ship. And this is weird because I'm watching my capture to figure out where my cursor is. But this thing and that thing and this thing. Yeah. Flipping those switches turns those on this map. And this tower will correspond to specific elements on the island. Not sure where to start. Let's see. These can tell us. That's probably not going to tell us much. Nah, nope. This one. The Channelwood Age of Myst. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see. That's so true, sir. So many of them. Except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I'm eager to discover more. But I have arrived here late, and I'm stressed. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. So the dude just pops in here, and he's sleeping on the road. And he gets freaked out because there's somebody else there. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village. It was about 10 meters above the water, in the trees. And can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures Okay, you know what? That's fine. It was fucking 1992, I guess, so... Let's push this button over here. And you'll notice the door. It's fucking locked. Not sure why they did that. Probably to avoid confusion, right? Because when you would come in this room, you'd, like, get this view, and then you could get, like, this view, and then you could get, like, that view, and then you could get, like, that view. And you'd have to pick between them, and maybe they didn't want you to get confused by the doorways. So, opening one locks the other. I don't know if it was 1992, it was freaking a long time ago. Clearly a deficiency about indigenous peoples. Okay, so in here we have two things. We have a key and the book. Oh no. That's terrible. That's terrible. That ruins problem solving quite a bit. This is looking at the boat, I'm pretty sure. So, essentially what it's saying is that that boat is an age. Key to that age is up here. We're not going to the boat first. We're going to go to the channel. So, in the book, which is gone, talked about an age filled with water and great trees and a civilization that lived, amongst the trees. And there happens to be a big ass tree out there. It looks like a redwood. That's what I just pointed the tower at. It looks like it works from down here. Let's see. Yeah, no. That's so screwy. Right. That's our key to get into the challenge age, is 724. Places of protection. It's really interesting story. Rand and I have to look that up. What is his brother's name? Anyway, this game was essentially created by two brothers. I want to say Rand and Paul Miller, and that might be wrong, but they wrote this extremely vitriolic story about themselves that sort of cast themselves as villains. And I don't know, it's just Nobody does. In this game, in fact, Rand plays Aknar, who will meet eventually. You know what? Let's do that. And Paul plays Sirius. So I think I'm not sure that that's his freaking name. That's terrible because that's the guy who did most of the rendering and most of the music. Rand did the writing and like the story conception and everything. Okay. Let's start with Rand. Rand is actor. Let's just open this up. What is this? Yeah. Nothing. But this... What? That's not obvious or anything.
Serious? Is that you? Who are you?
I'm not serious.
See you. You know. Help me. Bring me blue pages. Never, never. Pages. I must have the blue page. Bring them to me.
Blue pages. Alright. That's Aknar. This one. Be serious. We get nothing at first.
Who are you?
Not Aknar.
Bring me a red page. I can't see you.
I can't see you either, man.
I need a red page. You must.
You need to boost your signal.
Bring. I beg of bring. Shh. Help. I am serious.
You are serious. Yes, I know.
Give it up. There is one thing I must rescue.
Rescue. What'd he be talking about? I'm not sure. But that's serious. And that's Aknar. Not sure why they're in those books, but they're in there. So Aknar is played by Rand. Sirius is played by his brother, who I am calling Paul for the remainder of the foreseeable future until I can correct myself. And yeah. Aknar is wait, that's it. Big old tree. And some stairs leading up to it. We don't know why. 724. That's our hint. Right? Matches. And a safe. What's the point of that? I guess this is lit. Over there. Oh. Okay. diagram. Over there with the PSI. Let me hit this. What does this do? Yeah. 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 There we go. What's going on? Uh-oh. That's too high. Too high. Shit. Okay, you know what? I think the way I did this is turn it off and yeah, come to me. I still haven't looked at the strategy guide yet. Yeah, I'm in there. I don't know how to get out of here, but we made it in here. Well, let's check this out. That sounds like what Atris was talking about. Ah, I forgot that part. Rand plays Atris as well. So Rand is Atris and Aknar. Paul is Sirius. And the composer and the primary graphics artist. Honestly, the music in this game is probably one of the best things about it. This and its sequel. Yeah. Let's continue. Wow. The original version, there's a lot more fog. I think I've only played through this once. It was like a speed run. So. Pipes! Switches. I have a problem to solve with pipes and switches. What is this over here? What do we got going on over here? I don't know. Could that be a submerged pathway? Work! Work, damn it. It's not working. Okay. So we have to get steam, probably, flowing through these pipes. You'll find, a lot of these problems are solved with, steam. All the games, really. Except when Ubisoft took over. After they took over, it's like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. I don't know. I jest. Myst 4 is probably one of the better games in my opinion. And, like, a lot of fucking Myst cronies are gonna look at that and say, you're a piece of shit. What are you talking about? Ubisoft sucks. And it's not that Ubisoft sucks. Ubisoft brought a lot of resources to the table that Siren didn't have on their own. And they brought in a major TV actor at the time. You know, he wasn't really well known for... I'm talking about Myst 3 at this point. he wasn't really well known for motion picture films, but he was on TV. There was an episode of Next Generation or 2 that that guy participated in. Cedric, I forget his name. That was Ubisoft's first venture into the series, was Myst 3, and it's pretty good. I thought Myst 4 was better. Myst 3 paled in comparison to this game and Ribbon, in my opinion. That's just me, right? But I liked 4. I thought 4 was an elevation of the series, and then 5 just kicked it in the dick, and Uru put the last nail in the coffin, unfortunately. Such a sad state of affairs at the end. But here, the series was in its prime. More switches. These switches mean, right? We're cutting off power that way and allowing it to flow that way. Doesn't seem like anything's happening. And what is this stuff? It's like, I want to put that on my salad. Ooh. On the journal, Atreus said there was only rope ladders, but I think they had some difficulty implementing ladders into the original game. In reality, it's staircases and elevators that are steam powered. You know? And something else you have to understand is that journal was written from a perspective of discovering this place. This infrastructure was laid in afterward. So, we don't have an understanding exactly of what happened after that infrastructure was implemented. Being here and exploring this puzzle is part of discovering that story. That's questionable, but it looks okay. And the connection there. It's a hose to a pipe. What do we got here? A water tank. And it's being filled. Okay. So the pump's okay. Pulling water from back here. Huh. Could that be it? Excuse me, steam, I said. That's just hydraulics, isn't it? I don't know what that does. Apparently it doesn't do anything. Okay. I can hear the water flowing. It continues to flow. Alright. Alright. So where do we want to go? Now we don't hear the water. Right. So that's a matter of adjusting my switches. I mean, that's a very prominent thing. That's probably the first place I went. Hey, flip the switch. Okay. There's another elevator over there. Now suddenly we have this chimney. Oh no! No, I remember. I remember now. You have to come down from there. You can't go up there. It's locked from the other side. Alright. Look this way. So many switches. Okay. Okay, let's see if that elevator can get us up. Let's try that. Still have not referenced the strategy guide yet. I'm getting to a point where I might, though. Okay, so now the water's flowing this way, and then it flows this way, and then it flows this way. Now, yes, open. Let me in. Up. Up. Oh, okay. There we go. Yay! As I recall, there are 2 levels to this. Oh, man. Is this not, like, the perfect fucking treehouse? Like, come on. It's got an elevator. Awesome. Alright. I used to build tree houses all the time when I was a kid. Tree houses. I call them tree houses. You look at that dude on TLC or whatever who builds tree houses. It's like, no, it's not like that. No. Like, we would build platforms in a couple of branches. And I think one time some of my friends hauled a bed into a tree, and then that was a tree house. It's like a little twin bed. We also used to dig into the dirt, build little caves. I think my fondest treehouse was actually on the ground, and it was recessed into the ground by like 2 or 3 inches, not even meters, inches. And we covered all that with tarp for flooring, and then erected walls around it, and put a tarp roof over it. And that was our treehouse. That was cool shit. Like little homeless fuckers living out in the goddamn suburbs. I don't know, I was 8, 9, 10, 11, thereabouts. They're leaving, too. Actually, looks like a really strong wall. They could work on some planking, though. Here we go. A staircase. And this elevator, which I assume is not operational because I didn't route the power to it. Open this door. Why not do it? Now see, that doesn't really jive with my understanding of physics. Counterweight, weight system, even if there is a pump, going down is letting stuff out. You're not requiring power to do that. There's a thing around here. Somewhere. Ooh. Ooh. We didn't put any handrails on this one. Clay? Yeah. Where are they getting the clay? Natures? Probably the same place the trees are growing out of, I guess. I can assume this water is quite shallow. What's out there? It's all by itself out there. I believe there is a day-night cycle in this game. I'm not 100% sure about that, but... I mean, it may not be present on these intra-mages that are inside of the game, but it might be present on the Myst Island, I think. What is that? Almost looks like a prison out there. I don't know. I am not going to call attention to the way the journal was worded. It was a different time. That's all I can say. These people were obviously not creatures. That's all I want to say about it. What? What? Let's continue. What's over here? Nothing. Broken pipe. Okay. We're here. That looks like a nothing too. Yep. Okay. Right. The submerged pathway. Wasu grasshopper! Excellent. This is the broken pipe, isn't it? It is. It is. But what is this? Fixed. Okay. Now we gotta bring the water away. So this elevator will work. Hydraulics. Hydraulics, not steam. Still, you need pressure for hydraulics. Whatever. Oh, that's wrong. That was the wrong one. Ah! I'm okay. I'm okay. I clicked off the game and it went away. But I'm okay. There. And there. Right? And with this one. No. Hold on. No. 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 There we go. Now with this. And it continues across. Okay. Good. Let's go try the other elevator. This way. It's true though. In the original game, there was so much more mist in this area. Ironically enough, the mist was mistier. Wait. That takes me back. That's not right. That's not right. So, one thing about this game is, in every age you go to, you're going to find one red page and one blue page. Somewhere. And those clear up the signal to Sirius and Achenar and help you understand their point of view from one perspective or another. Is the sun going down? I feel like it is. It's dipping on me. Anyway, the heart of the game, it's really a tale of trying to decide which of the two brothers is innocent. Innocent of what? Right? We haven't got there. Haven't freaking got there yet. I'm gonna have to look at the freaking strategy guide. Alright, let's just, we'll take a timeout, I guess. So, timeout. Alright. There's a switch. The staircase is indeed the key. But there's a switch to unlock it. I need this water to go to an elevator that I know works. Is it here? Yes, that one. Alright. Wait a minute. Yeah. 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 That way. There we go. There we go. Now. Going up. Okay. Where the fuck is the switch? I know there's a switch. No fucking clue where it's at. That one's square. Hadn't really noticed. And so this one. Some of them are square, some of them are not. There's a Myst book over there. I should be able to see the staircase from this hut. Where the switch. The switch! The switch! And there's the staircase. Okay. And the door opens. What do you know? Okay. Yeah, it's just... It's like I was saying in the beginning, you know, the game is mired by two things. An extreme sense of intrigue, because everything is so weird, and an extreme sense of frustration, because the puzzles are not immediately obvious. There we go. See, I knew I was supposed to do something over here with this stupid freaking game. Yeah, there we go. I used to do that with the regular game. You get this, like a cool little groove walking down the staircase. I lost it. It went away. Open. Ha ha ha! Give us some water. I'm not even trying to turn my head right now. This is doing it for me. Okay. There we are. So this, if I can, yeah, goes up to a third level up there. Yeah. Here, I think we'll find more of the story. I think. Amongst the tree trunks. Remember when I was a kid? Very, very young. I couldn't have been more than 8. Because of where we were living at the time. But there was a spruce tree. And I don't know if you're familiar with a spruce tree, but it's basically like climbing a ladder if you try to climb it. And I got to the top of that fucking thing, and it was 50, 60 feet off the ground. Drove my dad nuts. He figured out I was up there. And get your ass out of that fucking tree! What the fuck's the matter with you? It was bad. I had a good time. Sitting on top of the tree. Looking down and rolling around. Do I know? It's right there. Secret door. By all appearances, this is a chamber where the indigenous people of this community would come and pay homage or respect to who they thought were gods. And you might recognize that face. That's Akira. Two-pronged trident, scythe, spears, tongs for forging a weapon, saw, what appears to be a saw, to be a serrated blade, bed, and a blue page. Now, the way this game was written, you can only carry one page at a time. So that's the page I've got for that. Yeah, we heard that already. Like twice. My bad. The way... This is written in such a way that Sirius, Akinar, and Atris would come to these places and institute this technology. Atris would do it out of an attempt to help people and to elevate them, right? and Sirius and Akanar exploited that, essentially. How they got this technology? Where does this hologram shit come from? How do they get this brass? How do they get the electronics to work? None of that's ever really explored.
I hope I pushed the right button. Very interesting device, dear brother. I'm not erasing anything important anyway. He is preparing. Remember, take only one page.
I didn't quite hear all of that. Apparently, Sirius left that message for me. Yeah, I want to speak to the audio and there's something about the mood that this sets. First of all, you know that this is a significant place because that music starts. But the music tells you something about this place and its significance. It's not just mystery, it's also sinisterness. Right? I feel like the sky is definitely getting darker. Not sure what the day-night cycle is set to. It must be several hours. Now, there should be a red page here somewhere. But there doesn't appear to be any more to this complex. There's a hut over there. Let's go see that. One page, right? We'll see that in a second, I guess. For now, back to Myst. Let's see what else Aknar has to say for himself. Just don't turn your head and push forward. That works pretty good. Whoa. Can we see some tides if the moon is that close? Like, okay, you know what? It's not a physics-based game. Stop criticizing it on that part. Oh, why are there so many? That way. Isn't that the way? I'm pretty sure that's the way. Okay. Thankfully, I don't have to figure out how to get out from under the tree. Okay. Ragnar. What say you?
You've returned. You wouldn't return. They just rescue me. I'm Akinar. My brother, I beg you. Be complete. Always blue pages.
I beg you to be complete.
Listen to him.
Don't listen to him.
My brother.
Yeah, don't listen to my brother.
An egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages.
He's a liar, as if you're not.
Bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must leave. I will have my retribution. Please bring me the blue pages. Pages, please.
Okay. He's wrongfully imprisoned. My foot. Channelwood was by far the most damning experience for me, for Akinar. But he's clearly trying to be some kind of deity to those people. Let's just ignore some of the wording here, and there is a thing. That's the thing. In each of these journals, there is a hint, essentially, or two. There's also a lot hidden inside of the text. The text is written in such bad taste, considering the state of the world. I'm skeptical. The other ones won't be so bad, I promise. Let's go get the red page. Did I do nothing? Yeah, I do. Okay. Thankfully, there's an infinite number of matches inside of this matchbox. So that's helpful. Oh. Nah. We don't need it anyway. Pilot light's already lit. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit. Oh, I just barely made it. Again, every age, red page, blue page. Hey. Rhymes, it is freaking dark. I think I need... That is not enough of a counterweight. I think I need, the staircase, actually. Oh, that's cool, man. Come on. That's just... freaking cool. Alright. Staircase. We're going to the staircase. For the record, day-night cycle confirmed. It's like everything significant here is actually up on the 3rd level. Damn it. Go faster. Right. Faster! You see how that's offset? On my screen, the light is pretty much in the middle of the cursor. It's weird. Right. Not that way. This way. To Sirius's room, I assume. You'll notice immediately that things are different here. Some level of refinement that Achenar lacks. It seems to be Eastern influence. It almost looks like bamboo. And like something you might see in feudal Japan. I don't know. Alright. I don't need the flashlight anymore. Can I turn that off? There we go. It's been a scuffle. What's this? Cheese? Molded cheese? And some wine? A sink. With a toothbrush. Serious brushes his teeth. Achenar doesn't. What do you know? What's this? Alt access. Island of Myst. You're playing beyond Myst and access. First location. That seems important. I'm not carrying it. It's gonna stay here. Wine under the bed. That's where wine belongs. And a knife. A curved, weird knife. Dagger, I guess. Back there. No. What's in here? That's kind of cool. Shows an appreciation for physics, but it's not translated into the game. Oh, here we go. Ink and the page I'm looking for. Okay. And the scuffle, that's what we get. And when you come in here, this is even more indicative of Eastern architecture, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never been to Japan. I've never really studied Eastern architecture. Or China, or you know, Korea, or Vietnam, or Malaysia. Okay. It goes back in. I gotta bring it back to that sound design. It's just perfect. That's something I thought about these first two games more than any other of the Myst series. Was this sound design is absolutely perfect. I rarely feel that way about a game. It's usually too dramatic. It's usually too much movement. Too much get off your ass and go punch something in the face. What's wrong with you? This is hinting that what you see is a lot more complicated than what it looks like. Don't forget that broken page in there. That is definitely important at some point. I just don't remember exactly which point that is. Oh. Alright. Back to Myst. With the red page. Let's hear what Sirius has to say for himself. You know what? We're gonna read that journal. You have to. I just don't want to. It's very important to understanding what went wrong here. And how. Let's just take a moment. I used to catch fireflies when I was a kid. I still do. Pop them in a bottle. Mason poke holes in the top. It's a little lantern. I still do. I'm 33 years old. My nephews still catch them, and I'll catch them with my nephews. It's a good time. I don't have kids. It's a long story. Completely irrelevant. But I love my nephews. Alright. Red page. There's. So much of this is ambience and atmosphere. I think it's important to respect, to appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing the red plague. You must continue to help. My name is Sirius. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must.
Hello? My audio just cut? I think it did. Alright, hold on. There we go. Let's try again.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing the red plague. You must continue to help. My name is Sirius. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother is guilty.
Yes, of course.
I wrongfully imprisoned.
Of course.
Bring the red page to me.
So at this point, it seems like Aknar is the douche and Sirius is the good one. Now, why I'd start with Channel It? I like that one the best. The others are sort of stony. As far as an environment is concerned. I'm just talking about tree houses and fireflies. I also used to run the woods. There's a creek runs behind my parents' house when I was 12, 13 years old. I followed that creek as far as I could. As far as I could. Half the time I was actually walking through the creek, or I was wading through the creek. Because I wanted to know where that water went. That was it. I found a reservoir. Ironically enough, there were a bunch of teenagers down there swimming. When I arrived, I should say. Just to make that clear. I emerged from the creek. I didn't know those people. I wasn't going to say anything to them. I went out into the neighborhood, the adjacent neighborhood, and I knocked on somebody's door and I asked them, "Where am I?" Because I don't know. I was 10 miles from my house. I had walked all day, and I walked all evening back to my house. I don't feel bad about that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of kids would probably be like, "Oh, Ma, come pick me up." No, I got myself into that situation. I was gonna get myself out of it, and I did. My shoes were ruined. My pants were ruined. But I had an adventure. And that's really what it was about. And that's what this game has been about for me. Since I first fell in love with it. It's exploring things and understanding things and finding new things. You know? New ways of life. Yeah? New ways that the life coexists with itself. Let's go read this journal. I want to explicitly say that anything in this that seems off, I absolutely do not agree. Like, we'll start here. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the people to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. What do you know? I didn't have to make a correction on that one. At least he appeared to be the leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature. Leader, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to him sat a very old human. At least to some extent, he appears human. Okay. So I guess now we're brushing against the assertion that is attempting to be made, that the people who live in the trees are different than what Atris would consider to be a human. What does that mean? Monkey-like creatures. I guess they're covered in hair. I don't know. We never see them. Yeah, I guess so. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise. This creature could speak my language. Human could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. Following day. As I suspected, the ancient creature is human, but he's old beyond his own reckoning, and seems almost insane. Yeah, I kind of feel that way myself sometimes. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, well, me too. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. This is the first utterance of the word man damn it. This bothers me so much. Just need to get the fuck over it. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he told. Many years ago, the humans and the tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground. Tree dwellers lived high above them. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. Humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I'm not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own, yet the old man believes in the truth of the story, as if he had been there. Ancient as he is, maybe he was there. The tree dwellers worship it, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes, or I'm going to say deities, instead of gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event that I will never forget. He began gripping my hand tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I do not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off of the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carried away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree people, lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. This strange funeral proceeded, which, quite frankly, is pretty relevant and similar to a Viking funeral. Why that's in quotes. The waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water's a dull green, for as far as I can see now. For some reason, it no longer shifts colors. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I'll do next. They're constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. Humans. I hope to learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. And then the colors start to change. I have lived on this world for 3 months, off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I'm even beginning to learn bits of their language. I've decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my son, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long before they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. I don't think that's one that we can actually access. Sirius has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these people, is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I'll consent. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideals. They seem to understand. I have faith they will follow. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Coctic. Seems completely unrelated. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Sirius and Achenar here. See Everdunes for more information. After watching Sirius and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again, and for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Achenar are staying behind. I have been gone for over 3 days, and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Achenar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken. Although they only remember her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirius and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave. I've told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence. It was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the people who live in the trees and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and I'm reminded of my own adventures as a child. Yeah, I was just thinking about that, wasn't I? I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their mini inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black that I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the people my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh at myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night. The people for the last night. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again and also ask if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I will have to think over their request. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now I must give my farewells, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit the sage again. And you saw. It's deserted. For some reason. Alright. I'm gonna take another sabbatical, I guess. It's a break, I guess. We'll come back and we'll do the second one. Whichever one that happens to be. So, back in a few. Yeah. See, what? Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Alright. Back in a minute. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at something real quick. I don't understand. I'm looking at the stream in my phone, and I'm still getting this abysmal ringing, and I thought I had. There we go. I thought I had taken care of that, but apparently not. Hopefully, I have assisted a little bit. We'll see. Next stage. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I need to try and address this microphone problem real quick. What's that? What's that one? The stone ship age. Okay. That'll be next. It's kind of a tough one to get started, as I recall. But part 2 coming soon. Soon.